What's up everybody, welcome to part 2 of our little trike build of spare parts that we had laying around the shop. We were going to build a second cooler cart, but I think this is much better. It helps me practice my bending and welding skills, so every day that I can learn something new, good day. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. Every subscriber counts. Make sure to check out boostedlifestyle.com for all your merch. I think today I'd like to get the rear axle mounted and our little seat built. And then we can work on getting the fork stuff made after that and the front hub. Because these wheels fit so high, I have to find a way to rise our bearings up. I might tend to overbuild sometimes when I don't have the best materials to work with, but this should be plenty strong once I seam weld everything up. Here, you can also tell that this pipe is slightly a bit more forward than this pipe, just the way it's bent. So I had to square this up with a frame and not these pipes. But you don't notice it unless you're really looking for it, but now that you see it, you're gonna see it every time. The two bearings should fit on top of this. Ooh, like the A. We'll drill our bolt holes there, and that's where the axle is gonna sit, and that should mean that the ride height with these wheels is a little bit less than that. Yep, we going low, baby. Low and slow. Only because it's got a 6 horsepower engine. Could we add like turbo or nitrous to it, I wonder? I know the 212 will fit in there, and you can make a 212 like, I don't know, 15 horsepower probably. Somebody tell me what a modified 212 will do. Man, I'm going to like try to mark my holes for these bearings, but they're so inconsistent. Like the bore is not straight when this thing is flat. So when you put it like this, you would expect if you put it on both these holes on the table that the bore would be straight through like right here, but it's not. It would be like tilted all the way over there. It would be like this. Man, these things suck. Anyways, I'm gonna drill the holes for these two. These are my most consistent bearings. So I got some holes made, drill those out, and bolt it down. So this is what our rear end looks like. We're going to put the sprocket on one side actually, and then the brake on the other side. That's why I didn't mind plating in the middle. This also gives us a good spot to mount one of those like retractable ratchet straps. If I want to tow something, we can mount it right to that, and that will be super, super solid. So like you mount it upside down here, you can just pull the ratchet strap, put it to a car or whatever. That is our ride height right there. That is barely fit my hand underneath it, so it might get high centered a little bit, but it's gonna be low, baby. That is the ride height. We gotta make sure the front tire still fits. Barely. Even if we put a little bit of rake backwards to get the front tire to clearance, it's still gonna be fine. I can't stop looking at it. The fact that I made this thing so far is so cool to me. I didn't think this was in my capabilities to build something, but I mean, if you just take it one little step at a time and you start tackling each problem like it's its own individual problem, you take this big, overwhelming thing and you just break it down into steps, and it seems to work fine.
I'm in danger.
Cool, I like it, I like it, I like it. I don't know if we should start on the forks next or the seat. Finish off like the back part or the forks. Let me just plan a little bit in my head. I don't usually do that, but I'm gonna try. Totally just wanna try something here real quick. I'm gonna take our little piece of pipe that we had bent for up here. That was a dud, and I'm going to try and cut this at an angle, I think, on the bottom side right here. This is my vision right here. This is just put this like that. And then your little seat fits right in here somewhere. Let's try maybe not as much of an angle here. We'll make like a 40-degree angle on a piece of scrap pipe, do the same notch, and then see what that looks like. Well, it's not quite what I wanted, I don't think. I think what I want to do, I'm going to cut this one at this angle and then put the bend in it. I think that's kind of my idea. It was supposed to be lined up. I'm gonna have to undo that and reline it up, but it's supposed to be lined up with this pipe, and then I put a little kink upwards and outwards, like a millimeter off center. That's how I remember it. So it flares out, so if you got a wide ass, you can like ride up on this part here. And I'll make another one, go on this side. And I don't think I'm gonna join them in the middle. Just hang them like that, and then I think it'll be fine. All right, how's that for a seat mount? I'm actually gonna have to grind this piece down flush and plate that so I can weld a tab here and then weld a tab on the back corner there and a back corner there, and then build like a little maybe like fiberglass base or a metal base, and then maybe put a cushion on it afterwards. I don't know. Step back a little bit here. I'm gonna put it on the floor and see kind of what it feels like to sit on it. Bolt it in. Oh my god, this thing is tiny. It's not that bad. The handlebars will start here, but probably end up like this somehow. Like little ape hangers. You don't have to worry about the tires hitting your legs. You'll have to worry about the chain and the brake though, I think. But man, this thing's gonna be so little. I thought it was gonna it's gonna be so wheelie happy too, I think. Let me just put the engine in there and see if we're starting to get that look that we were kind of going for. You know what? That's not even bad. It fills out pretty nicely now, I think. I'm not terribly upset with that. Maybe I should start trying to figure out this part. Where's my bearings? What did I do with my hammer for? What's a hammer for? It's for hammering, silly. I also don't want to mess up all these spot welds. So I marked out some holes in this top plate here. This is for one fork, that's for the other fork, and then that's for the head bolt. And then we can end up like shaping this afterwards. But I did weld the ends together, so when we make one template, it's gonna come out the exact same if we draw them both at the same time. This is not gonna be the best method of this, but I'm gonna use a 3/4 hole saw for our middle hole and then a 1" for the tubes. This just, like, the drill bits never go super straight, so it might be a little bit oblong. Sorry guys. And we're doing it on the floor. This might take forever, and a little bit. Might take forever and a little bit. That is so bad. Why are these drill bits so whacked out? That's gonna be like a 1" hole by the time I'm done with it. I don't exactly have a 3/4" drill bit either, so I don't know what my alternative is. I'm gonna do the 1" ones first. They're not as crucial, but they're still kind of important, but I can afford to mess these ones up slightly. There we go. Now let's just see if our 1" pipe is gonna fit in there. Oh my god, it barely even fits through the first one, so if we have to hammer it through them, that's gonna be perfect. We want a snug fit. So that one's done. Gotta do this one and that one. You see the design though? This is gonna be your main one, and this is gonna be where the triple tree is. The fork goes down there and the fork goes down through there, and then you bolt it. You guys understand. That only took forever. Now here's the super duper fun part. We have to cut it out to make it look not so square and dumb, but we have to do it now at this step because when we grind them off, they won't be the exact same if we don't do it right now, because I'm not good at cutting two of the same exact line. You guys have that problem too? Where you like, no matter how hard you try and measure, you can't cut two of the same lines? Just me? I thought so. And all my batteries are dead. All right, Kyle, the goal here is just to make it look like you don't suck. Which, the bar is not set super high, Kyle. It's not super high. "1,000 years later and about 400 pounds of grinding dust everywhere." Was it worth it? Who knows? Let's mount those bad boys up. Of course they'll go flying over there. Of course my stupid ass will get that stuck on that side too. Dude, look at it. That looks so good. I haven't decided how I'm gonna mount this. I don't know if I'm gonna permanently mount the triple tree to where I just weld the top here, or if I'm gonna weld a bolt inside of it and then maybe just put the washer on that. It'll be loose inside this top one then if I do that. And I don't have a way to like slice it and clamp it. So I might end up having to weld the whole thing, which means when we paint it, we just have to paint it, and if the bearings ever go, then we have to cut it off and re-weld it. But look at it. I measured it out pretty damn good. That wheel has probably, I don't know, 1/4 inch on either side. And then the front, I'm actually gonna move the wheel a bit more forward than this. I'm gonna build little tabs that come out like that so we can bolt the axle through it. I think I'd love to make this thing a roller before we end this video, so I'm gonna make the little pieces quickly right there. We're gonna use the same thickness of plate up here because I'm scared that the 1/8 inch plate I have will twist under side load. So I'm gonna make those, which is gonna be a lot more grinding dust, and I'll see you here in a minute. Here's our little pieces cut. They're hot as heck. I did try and like curve them a little bit on the bottom just to give them a little cool thing. They also have to be drilled out a little bit bigger for 5/8 bolt, which I'm gonna do when they cool down a little bit. But I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of pipe the same length now that we're gonna use for our piece. This one actually looks like it should be the right length, so I'm gonna pull this one off, get one that'll match this one. Hey, what do you think about that? Should just be some little bit of tweaking. I gotta finish welding those pieces and then tweak it a little bit and then get the welds on here, and that should be our front fork. It's starting to look badass, isn't it? Get rid of this pipe. You don't belong. Oh man, that thing, that is ride height right there. And then I haven't tested this yet, but I assume the turning radius is gonna be massive, to be honest. Oh my God, yeah. It lifts the frame a little bit. But that's good. That means we got the caster, like the angle of the head tube right, because if you turn it, it wants to come back to center. I think I should leave that hook on the bottom. I meant to make the tube longer and then like taper the hook with the tube, but now that it sticks down, I think I like that. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm gonna weld up these parts, but I'm gonna tweak it, try and get some tack welds on this stuff. Man, I'm actually having so much fun taking my time building something. This looks awesome. I don't feel rushed. I used to feel like I had to film as fast as I could and build stuff as fast as I could in order to get footage out because I would have to go to work in 6 days on my days off. But now that I have some time and opportunity to build stuff right, this is like, I'm having the most fun I think I've ever had in my YouTube career so far. You know the phrase, time flies when you're having fun? That is this right now. Like time is just, the day is going by. We've got a couple tacks there and there and there and there. I realize the bearings are still gonna be serviceable. You just gotta kind of pull this out as a unit and then squish new bearings in there and then squish that back together. But the wheel is straight. It has probably 1/4 inch play on each side. We have to build some spacers afterwards for the shaft. I'm gonna put a couple more tacks on it right now, just to make sure it doesn't move, put it on the floor, and then we can see what it seems like as a roller. I'll put some bolts in the rear wheels too. Oh, it's not that heavy. Ow! I'll squish my fingers. Oh boy, is that low. That is low. We might be scratching the frame on this one, boys. That is, let's just measure it right here from the peg. On that side, that is less than 1 inch of ground clearance. I don't know, hypothetically, let's just say, oh my God, my phone fell in my pocket while I was riding it. This is how much clearance you have over your phone. Crazy, man. I'm gonna try and sit on this thing now. It should support my weight. It's tack welded pretty good. The wheel is definitely not perfectly straight right now. Obviously I fit on it and it rolls well actually, but this front fork is dickered. Like that right there, this angle in the front is where it wants to be straight, and then I should have looked at it from up here before I tack welded it. I've got some figuring out to do right there. I knew that head tube was going to be one of our biggest issues. Well, after burning my hand a little bit right there, and grinding it all off, resurfacing it all, I think I got it straight now. I had the 2 tubes bent a little bit because I was more worried about the measurement from the bottom of the fork to right here than I was about getting it all straight and where it wanted to settle. So I think I've got it now. We look down here, everything seems to be in line. I was gonna leave it there because it's getting late in the day and we've already been at this for 2 days, but I want to try one more thing. I want to try and bend up some 1 inch handlebars. I know all handlebar stuff is like 7/8, but I don't have a 7/8 die. So what I might do is bend up 1 inch stuff and then maybe steal some straight pieces of this handlebar, which is 7/8, or I'll just get some 7/8 bolts to weld in my 1 inch pipe. You're kidding me. Literally on my last, and I did it the wrong way. Well, this was my attempt at handlebars and I done frigged it up, yep. So one is the right way and then one is tilted up the other way. And I put the bend in the wrong spot. I had 2 lines marked And obviously I picked the wrong one. That was an hour's worth of work. Messed up on the last bend. Man, I hate the bender. And the thing is, I couldn't bend them completely straight because it wouldn't fit back in the notcher because there's too many bends. Not exactly how I pictured that going, and now we got it stuck. Well, there we go. Double loops. Anyways, I'm just gonna weld a little piece of straight pipe on here, just, you know, to see if we got the right style of handlebar that we want. Welding hot. This should be pretty cool. Remember, just temporary bars until we get our new ones. We just have to grind that little weld off and smooth it back out. No big deal, but that is the look. That is the look right there. Doesn't that thing look badass? I'm gonna put it on the floor and see how high those actually are because they look really tall. That is so perfect. I feel like even Tokyo would fit on this thing. There's so much steering angle too. You could, oh no, the handlebars just fell off. You could probably turn this in the radius, in like a 6-foot radius. Okay, I gotta tackle that back on again. Anyways, I'm definitely gonna have to come out and make new handlebars for it. I was going to use that 6 horsepower engine, but you guys kept saying that it was trash, it was no good. So I might try to pick up a 212 engine from Princess Auto, which is our Harbor Freight. They're like kind of one and the same. One is just Canada, one is US. But they also have like a 208, I think, with electric start on it, and I might try and get that in there instead, because electric start would just be so convenient instead of doing like the pull cord every time. So let me know if I should get the 208 with electric start or the 212. The 212 I think is $200 Canadian, the 208 I think is $300 Canadian, but for this, no expenses spared as long as it's under 300 bucks. I love how it's coming out. I'm going to have to build another set of handlebars. That is very, very unfortunate because that was like an hour. But in between that, I did do a bunch of welding on here. I still have a bunch to do in the back and then a bunch to do on these pipes and these pipes right here. But for the most part, there's not that much welding. Everything is tacked up pretty solid. I've got it where I want it, and I'm having so much fun with this thing. I did just get my Amazon package. It's inside. I'll go talk to you in there, but I do leave for drag week in 2 days. Today is Thursday. I leave on Saturday morning. Sick week, I mean. So I know one of the biggest holes in my filming game at the track is always that I never see the scoreboards of the quarter mile at the end, and it's so annoying. So I usually film on something like this. This is a Canon 80D with a 10 to 18 mil lens on it. I switched it up, and I bought this thing. This is a Canon G50, and this has like 20 times zoom. So I'll be able to see the scoreboards. It shoots in 4K. I'm probably going to use 1080p. But this is the upgrade from our 80D, which I have 2 of. So we're going to try this thing out. I put the mic on it. And this is what we're going to use for Sick Week. Okay, just filming this for myself. This is the new camera. It's on 1080p at 60 frames per second. It does do 4K at 30 frames. But because YouTube compresses it down to 1080 usually, that's what I'll film in. Here's the zoom. This is the part we actually needed. Should have zoomed in on my face, I guess. Here. Yeah, that ear. But just testing audio quality and picture quality, because this is a pretty low light in this area. There's actually no light above me. Remember, every subscriber counts. I appreciate all you guys. Make sure to like the video. Peace easy. Get Devi. And remember to check out our own company, Black Sheep Industries Inc. and True North Turbos. You can find everything you need for your turbo build, whether it be flanges, wastegates, blow-off valves, turbos, all that fun stuff you want to go fast.
And on top of going fast, you're helping out your favorite YouTuber. You can visit us at blacksheepindustriesinc.ca is down in my link tree.